You are listening to Pharmacy, IT, and Me, your informatics pharmacist podcast. All right, welcome to another episode of the Pharmacy, IT, and Me podcast. As with every episode, we start off this one stating that the intended audience for this episode are currently working informatics pharmacists. So today's episode is not going to be a long one at all. I actually wanted to cover a specific news item that occurred last week that I actually forgot to mention on the last week on the Health IT episode. So on February 11th, Cerner announced that they have a solution that would help with physician burnout. And I'll be putting a link to Cerner's release in the show notes for those of you who are interested in reading the entire article. So a while ago, we talked about physician burnout, and it's a very significant issue in healthcare today. Physician burnout can be caused by a number of things, like high patient census, meeting a certain amount of patient numbers, doing extra documentation for regulations, and more. And in fact, here's a longer list of reasons why a physician can actually experience burnout in a healthcare setting, in which I compiled from several sources, including Becker's Health and the American Academy of Family Physicians. So, one is, it's an inherently stressful job. And two is it's not being prepared for malpractice or documentation, billing, insurance, and other non-clinical burdens that providers have to go through. And then third thing is that EHR barriers, like alert fatigue, too many clicks, or cluttered screens, or confusing patient health records. And the fourth thing is that, work-life balance is not balanced. And the fifth thing is some physicians don't have control over how many hours that they work or how many patients that they see. And the sixth thing is no longer feeling like providing good care. So the providers don't feel like they're providing good care because there's too many requirements, government requirements that impede on their workflow, leading to, a deterioration of their physician-patient relationship. So some of the consequences of physician burnout include exhaustion, depersonalization. And what I mean by that is they're so depersonalized from the whole process of providing care that they become so bitter and they're probably just snapping or even probably sarcastic to their patients. And, and eventually they lack providing good patient care because all the other things just cause them to be so exhausted and tired of everything. So it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy because of situations that providers are placed in that cause them to be experiencing a burnout. So as you can see, one of the major complaints relevant to our space is that physicians were also getting burnout from having too many things to do in the electronic health record. So the fact that Cerner, a major healthcare electronic health record vendor, has announced a possible method to improve physician burnout is actually a really amazing and good thing. We currently don't know if their proposal will work, but it's good to hear that a major corporation like Cerner is even considering this. So, the next question is, how does it actually work? From what Cerner's press release stated, the new workflow is called Chart Assist, and the technology behind it is based on artificial intelligence. To quote Cerner, it's a new AI-enabled workflow. Cerner's suite of AI-enabled solutions go beyond traditional processing and focuses on user efficiency to identify gaps and inconsistencies within the patient record. These advancements will help providers address patient care and validate diagnoses, ultimately helping to reduce the physician workload while supporting the financial strength of the health system, end quote. So Chart Assist is only one of many tools that's going to be part of Cerner's suite of applications to combat physician burnout and improve productivity. So like what I just quoted, Cerner actually has an entire suite of AI-enabled applications for this. We don't really have much detail on what this entails, but we know that this is a great advancement in leveraging technology to make a provider's life easier. They've invested millions of dollars into advancing their EHR to use the latest technologies in AI and machine learning capabilities. And I know they are also using natural language processing to try to help providers with delivering care. So now that we went over that bit of news, I guess what should we take out of this announcement? So the first things first, I never really answered that question that I posed earlier of how does this actually work? And that's because we have no idea. We don't know how this is going to pan out and if this will be successful. The tool seems sort of like, a black box unknown. And, to be honest, it's a little unsettling. However, understanding the whole nature of, big corporations and big companies and proprietary products, this is a little bit to be expected. But, having said that, it's nice to see that Cerner stated that they put a lot of time and money to try to help physicians with physician burnout. And this is great because they're actually acknowledging that there's an issue to be fixed. So at this point, who knows what the future will bring? We just have to wait and see and, see if this whole suite of applications is going to be successful. Alright, if you like this episode, you guys can subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or any of your other favorite podcasting services. You can also follow us on social media on Twitter or Facebook at PharmacyITme, or our Instagram at PharmacyInformatics, or email by pharmacyitme@gmail.com. You can also follow me on my personal Twitter account at TonyDowPharmD. And check out our website, pharmacyitme.com, for any podcast updates or when I write occasional blog posts. And also, I wanted to plug again a great networking opportunity called Pharmacists Connect. So if you guys are familiar with Slack Workspace, that's the basis of this whole networking community, and I've met a lot of great people on it. So it's a vetted community of only pharmacists and pharmacy students. And if you want to connect on there, go to pharmacistsconnect.com, and that's PharmacistiSconnect.com. Thank you again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of Pharmacy IT and Me. And remember, technology is the tool, patient care is the goal.